In the previous episodes, Kazuha died protecting two girls and was reincarnated in another world as Cain. But the 7 gods of this world blessed him with such overwhelming power that he could defeat even a S-rank monster alone. But later it was revealed that the gods gave this power to him with the responsibility of saving this world from a fallen god named Araon, whom other heroes barely managed to seal in last time. But now the seal is losing its effect, so Cain accepts his responsibility and trains himself in preparation for the battle with the god Araon. And at the end of the previous episode we saw that a fragment of the god Araon managed to free himself, so let us see what happens next. Unaware of this, Cain was in the academy, where he thought that teacher was separating him from the other students to self-study, but this time she was not going to teach offensive magic. So she let him stay, and she even called specially a royal mage Grat to teach Cain. Today's class is about summoning, and others summoned their beast, but when it came to Cain, he got so excited that he poured his whole mana into summoning circle, and ended up summoning the Prince of Darkness, so he used a light spell to blind the others. Then as the prince approached him, Cain was ready for a fight, but suddenly tables turned as he got on his knees to form a contract with Cain. His name is Seth, and he was ready to take any orders like destroying an entire nation. But Cain doesn't plan to do that ever, so he left for now to await his order. Then Grat caught a glimpse of Seth, but Cain managed to cover it up that he failed to form a contract, and look at him, sighing that he wasn't caught. But Grat saw everything and reported it to the king. Rex wanted to know his side of the story, so Cain told them how he summoned the Prince of Darkness and even made a contract with him, which shocked them to their core. But Duke Eric was having fun seeing Cain being scolded again by Rex, so he tells Cain to show his status, but before that Rex told Grat to keep Cain's power a complete secret. So as he showed the status of being demigod, they couldn't believe it. Grat even began to pray like a devotee, but even though he has the status and power of a demigod, Rex wanted him to prove himself worthy of being Princess Telly's and Silk's husband, so Rex granted him the title of Viscount, and if he manages to hold his title, only then Rex would announce his engagement with both of the girls. But then he got an emergency call from his half-brother Din. Because Cain's hometown is now surrounded by an enormous number of monsters, so Cain wanted to go to the forest right away, but Dijin was still worried about him, so he didn't agree. But there Cain reminds him about the S-class dragon he slayed, so remembering that Dijin gave his permission, so first he goes to guild for information, and there he met Millie Nad Nina. They were also called by the guild because of the monsters, and additional Claude and Mira are on their way to get here, so before they comes, Cain gets to the forest to assess the situation, and in looking at it, it was really bad. So Cain used his search spell to locate the cause of this monster outbreak, but something was preventing him from using his search magic. So he summoned Seth to see if he could do anything. But he knew one of his companions who's even better at search than him, so he called out Dalmatia. Seeing Cain, even he was mesmerized to see that Seth is contracted with the gods chosen. There Dalmatia used his powers to search in his way, and in the meantime, Cain took out all the S-rank dragons in a single shot and delivered them to the guild, and after some time, Dalmatia found the guy but couldn't get any closer to see who it was. So Seth didn't get intimidated by his threat and went even further into the woods and saw an entire army of monsters that mysterious person is commanding. So Seth hurriedly gets to Cain with teleportation, and seeing him, Claude and others thought they were being attacked by a demon. But Cain stops them and was about to leave with him without explaining anything to save time. But there Tefana comes in with her army to save the town from the monster outbreak. She wanted to tag along with Cain, but the upcoming fight was something they couldn't handle, so he left all of them as a last line of defense, and in the forest he saw that army of monster. So Cain requested Seth to save the town and left, so he summoned his loyal servant to assist them, but Millie was concerned about Cain because Cain is still 12 years old. So he would need as much help as possible, so after Mill, Nina, Claude, and Mira gets to the forest, but on the other side, Cain had left on his own to destroy the one who's causing this monster uproar, but his fire spell was blocked by the dark powers. Then Araon comes in to confront him. Although Araon only has his fragment released from the seal, he was still causing a rampage. Cain also realized he was the god Araon. But he was enjoying this, because all of the people Cain knows are going to die a miserable death. There in the forest Claude and Mill were killing all the remaining monsters that had slipped by the attacks from the Demon Kings and Prince Seth. And from behind Nina and Mary were supporting them with magic, but soon Nina ran out of magic and their situation became pitch. Thankfully Tefana arrived to save them. Meanwhile, Cain was going head to head with Araon's fragment, and their Cain's summoned beast gets caught in the fight and he becomes enraged at Araon. His desire to protect everyone made him use Overload spell, and their Dalmatia and Seth comes in to stop him because he had already burned Arayon to ashes. In the end, everything worked out nicely, and the people of the town were safe from the monsters, but then Cain was scolded by Rex again because the overload he used created a pillar of light. And those who witnessed it thought that the god had descended on the earth. Well, anyway, Cain did a good deed by saving the kingdom from Arayon, so Rex gave him his own land to rule. And it's Dorenthal, but it's actually bad news because it is ruled by the criminal syndicate and all the noble who got that domain ran away from there. But it was a nice getaway for Cain, so he accepted the domain, and right from the start as he entered the land, he was attacked by a mob of gangsters, but each one of them soon got to know their places. Well, after wrapping all the gangs in his peaceful time, Seth comes in crying because his wife kicked him out of his own house because she found out about his affairs, so there comes his wife Lethane. And looking at her, even Cain scolded him for cheating on her. She's a top-notch beauty, so even Silk and Tellys scolded him. Hearing such words from girls, she was impressed, so she tells Cain to never cheat on these two or else he will be under her punishment list. So with that, our season 1 comes to an end, but until second season comes, subscribe the channel to get more anime recap like this one.